Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm in my church. Check it out. Riverside Cemetery. She's so beautiful. The cemetery just opened up, I think maybe 2 or 3 months ago, post Helene. And a lot of the trees are gone, which kind of sucks, but she's still beautiful. I love being here. I know I'm a psychic medium and I see dead people, but I certainly do not see them here in the cemetery, because guess what? Your loved ones actually don't hang out where they were buried. You know, a lot of cemeteries may be haunted, but usually not with the people who are buried here, unless it was against their will. Your loved ones are with you, which is even creepier. They spend time with you. They hang out in the properties where they loved, you know, the houses that they love to spend time in, that brought them a lot of joy. That's where they hang out. So I spend time in cemeteries because they're so quiet and I catch a break. That's not why I'm here to talk to you today. I wanted to chat a little bit about what's coming up in September. Now, yes, I'm jumping back into astrology only because I want to talk about eclipse season and what's ahead. I'm going through it myself. Change and transformation, radical transformation, right? And I want to kind of give you some tips on how to step into the energy ahead of time. So we've got 2 eclipses coming up in September, which is really rare. We've got one coming up on the 7th. It is a lunar eclipse in Pisces. This eclipse is going to feel really fucking intense. You know, it's going to tease up a lot of things in your relationships that you're not communicating about, that you're not talking about. It's going to tease up anything that you didn't resolve back in March and April. Remember when Venus went into retrograde and all of your relationships were compromised essentially? And the way through that was like setting up verbal boundaries. If you didn't do that, September's going to show you exactly how you didn't address it, and it's going to make it really obvious. You know, during eclipse season, we often have to relocate very quickly. We lose our jobs, we lose relationships. Sometimes we'll have a loved one that passes away and it shakes up our lives. I want you to kind of get ready for this kind of this kind of energy. And of course, being in Pisces, because it's going to make you feel hyper emotional, and it's going to feel really sensitive and very personal. Now, the good news is that a couple weeks later, on the 21st, there's a partial solar eclipse in Virgo, and Virgo is all about, you know, organization. It's all about having your shit together, making lists, having everything in order. And so the good news is that while everything is going to get shaken up at the beginning of the month on the 7th, while the moon is in Pisces, it's going to again get shaken up, but it's going to give you an opportunity to organize your life around what changes that you need to make, what transformations that you got ahead of you. The one thing I also want to mention is that if anyone is going through a lot of shifts in their lives and transformations, I want to remind you to be kind with yourself. Like, it's really difficult not to be hard. And just speaking for myself, I've got my own journey in the fact that I've got fibroids. I'm having surgery in October, but right now my body is slowing down a lot, and it's actually, I'm starting to feel it because, you know, I'm someone who's fairly active. You know, I get out and I hike a couple times a week, at least once a week, where I'll do a big hike. And I'm starting to notice that all of my cardio output goes towards those fibroids, and my body feels completely exhausted while those little fellas are doing great in there. And so I've had some frustration around how I am in my physicality, but I have to realize that this is a resting season. And as much as I am that autumn hoe that really enjoys seeing the season slow down and the leaves fall off the trees, I have to kind of give myself the same grace that maybe I slow down, maybe I do the things that are kind for her, and just get through it until the solution presents itself, which it will in October. But that said, you know, be kind to yourself this month. It's going to be hard. You're going to feel like you're treading water. Some of this stuff feels like it's going to come from all angles and all directions, and just, you know, like, let go, right? It's like that, you know, that energy of like, if you jump into a river and you get swept up in the current, let go, release, try not to fight it. And I think, oh, you little buzzard. I think that, you know, if you step into that modality, it's going to feel a lot less painful. And also not just that, but you'll be able to be calmer for whatever else, you know, gets teased up ahead. So for this weekend, because it's actually happening next weekend, the first eclipse is happening on the 7th, be really, really kind to yourself and pay attention to the big emotions that are popping up inside of you. Communicate about it. you know, and just, you know, be aware that it's, you know, on the horizon. But the good news is that that next eclipse in Virgo is going to help you get everything in order and get organized, you know, get your thoughts pulled together around it. So yeah, I mean, here's the thing. We all need shifts and changes, otherwise we'd be stagnant in our lives. So consider it a blessing instead of a curse. All right, take care and enjoy the rest of your weekend. It's a long one, so do something fun.